From the Journal of Albion Moonlight, May 2nd. The angel lay in a little thicket. It had no need of love. There was nothing anywhere in the world could startle it. We can lie here with the angel if we like. It couldn't have hurt much when they slit its throat. The evening slowly turns to black stone, and the hammer of God chips at the sky, making stars. A child stands on the road watching us. Upon her forehead is the yellow brand of this plague summer. She waves to us, and her hand, like a withered white claw, falls to the ground. The fingers unclench once. Very well. We knew we had no other course but to get away with all attainable speed. A light rain had fallen in the night, and morning brought the drizzle to storm proportions. Our coats were wet through as we sogged out of New York on the first leg of our trip. That a great distance separated us from our goal, we knew. That we were in danger of destruction at any hour of the day and night, we knew. What we did not know was how near madness we would be, how alone, how defenseless, how beset we would be with what we had heard, with what we had been taught. This especially we did not know. May 18. The first communication from Roivas. After informing us that he would be unable to appear in Galen during the period set for our meeting, he gave warning of an exact, definable danger. May 19. I have forgotten my mask, and my face was in it. We have come at last to a huge hotel where we may rest and refresh ourselves. Its windows front the river on one side. On the other, stretching away as far as eye can see, lies a great open space pitted by what would seem to be great shell craters. The proprietor tells us that within the memory of the oldest resident, no human being has ever walked upon this plain. The hand of someone moves over my throat. I have no fear. A whale with a sad smile swims past me. The waves are red as blood. The human race has bled to death here. A great steel coffin churns through the water. There are buildings falling. I'm cold. Put your arms around me. I have seen Roivas, I tell them. Could you see his face? No. Then how do you know it was he? Because the birds were pecking at his eyes. What makes you think anyone will understand that? Joseph Gambetta asks. I don't worry about it. You're always flying high and mighty. And telling the truth, man has been corrupted by his symbols. Language has killed his animal. And you are resurrecting it? No, it has never had an opportunity to live. What will you do about it? I shall continue to ask how. How to what? To this strange, unborn thing which is in all men. You'll be easy picking for the scoffers. I have no interest in that. I see men engaged in activities that would shame a grub under a rock. Their codes and ambitions leave me sick with disgust. I suppose you'd like to try your hand at being God. No, I'd like to try my hand at being. I've armed myself against their weapons. To be so indolent that the flies will bury the dead on my eyelids. Sit on a beach and let the waves comb all thought of endeavor out of me. To live in such a manner that I never make a single blood-rotted dollar. To study history in order only to have it to forget. Books, all those big fat-bottomed ash cans where men empty their lives. The great man fell asleep with open mouth in a room full of flies. And that day his work took a gloomy turn. The man was Marcel Proust. The flies were Tommy and Winnie and little Meg. They're all dead now. June 7. The feeling of love for all beings. The days pass without blemish of any kind. How true it is that every man has his own level, his own geography. I am content to drink at my own lake, to walk on my own hills. How little I wish ill to anyone, yet, and this thought is never far from my mind, what frauds we practice on our neighbors. We permit no one into the web of flesh where we have our home. There's never a better friend, we say, and we really mean. He never bothered me, nor I him. With every passing hour, we retreat more deeply into ourselves. With each advancing moment, the self retreats from us. We're cemeteries where lie sleeping the millions of men who bear our destiny. What are values? Is what happens in a grasshopper's head of value? Today I went into the hills. The sun was shining. I sat down beside a stream and a cow approached to drink. She had a good look in her eyes and I felt lonely. What's it like to be a cow? I asked her. Why should I tell you? She answered, though politely, dripping water from her spongy lips. I'm writing a book and I'd sort of like to record your point of view. In that case, she said, I'll tell you. Do you know the story of the wren and the mole? I was compelled to admit that I didn't. Then the story of the grasshopper who fell in love with a water lily? Surely you know that. Again, I had to confess that I didn't. Do you know why the little men in the grass are unable to eat barley? I shook my head. I can't explain anything to you, she said.